And now I learned just a few seconds ago, 8 may make it into the rotation if Lincoln Riley has his way. So size it up at wide receiver for us.
Yeah, so I mean, just to hit on that 8 receiver item one more time, is that as much as Lincoln Riley will want to run the ball in the course of time at USC, what does that tell you though about 2022? It tells you that with the thin offensive line, USC can't lean on the run game too much early, and that again, that's a personnel limitation. And I think we talked earlier this month about how when Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma last year, he had only 2 healthy every down running backs, Kennedy Brooks and Eric Gray. So Lincoln Riley might have wanted to run more, but he didn't have the bodies, he didn't have the depth to be able to ask Kennedy Brooks to carry the rock 30 times a game. He might have wanted to, but he couldn't do it under those constraints, under those circumstances. So I think you're seeing something similar at USC where Lincoln Riley would want to run the ball a lot more. He knows the importance of it, but with that thin offensive line room, he will need to throw the ball more. You know, he will need to have more get the ball out quick pass plays in his play calls on game days. He's just going to have to ask this offensive line to do more pass blocking because he doesn't have the bodies to support more of a physical run first approach. So it's another example of the personnel limiting what Lincoln Riley can do. That's why he's emphasizing receiver. I don't think it's a natural philosophical inclination. It's just a reacting to the constraints he faces with that offensive line needing to be upgraded. And it just reinforces one more time why he really needs Josh Connerly on April 8th to put on a Trojan cap and come to USC, because that would really address a lot of issues for USC up front, giving them an anchor level tackle, and it would reduce a lot of questions and give them a high quality performer on that offensive line. So the 8 receivers a game is a personnel related matter, you know, because Lincoln Riley can see that his offensive line isn't in shape to fully support the run game. And so as we look at the players in this wide receiver group, so Mario Williams and Brenden Rice, I would think are going to be the 2 main starters, the 2 main flankers. I don't think Brenden Rice transferred from Colorado to, you know, sit on the bench or be a slot guy. I think he's going to be the WR2 behind Mario Williams, the WR1. And then the other spots get to be a little interesting. So Terrell Bynum was a transfer from Washington. He might be the main slot guy. There's been a lot of discussion about the slot being the role that he's suited for. And then you have some of the returning players from last year's roster. Gary Bryant led USC in receiving yards after Drake London got injured on October 30th against Arizona. So he was the leading receiver for the team in November. Taj Washington, Kyle Ford. Kyle Ford's had a significant injury history at USC, but he's healthy now. And Michael Jackson III, who impressed a lot of people in practice and a little bit in games last year, but you know, in summer camp, he had a great summer camp last year. He will be expected to take the next step. And then, as we mentioned, transfers in the month of May after spring ball. You're going to see a few high-profile transfers, or at least Lincoln Riley has all but indicated that he's going to make some significant pursuits at the position.